Hey, what's up, guys? It's Josh here from Let's Build a Website, and this is going to be the part one to the How to Make a Website video series. So, as you might know, I already released a How to Make a Website series using Dreamweaver, and the thing was, it didn't really teach you, if you're a beginner, how to make your own website. It taught you how to make the website that I was making. If you've never made a website before, you wouldn't know what I'm doing, and you'd just be typing it in, following along, and then you just have this website that just looks exactly like mine, and then you'd say, well, what's the point in this? But that was just a big waste of time, because you can't really make a website, you can just replicate one. So with this series, what I want to teach you is how to do everything. There's going to be a lot of parts to it. We're going to cover just about everything with HTML, CSS, and we're going to do a bit of jQuery, which is JavaScript. So, there's going to be a lot going on in this series, and I really hope that it is enough to help you start your own website and be able to, make it the way that you want, add the functionality, and just have it all line up the way that you pictured it in your mind. So, first off, what we're going to use is we're going to use a text editor. Now, you can use Dreamweaver if you already have it, but for this video, I'm going to use it, or I'm going to use just a regular text editor. What I'm using is Codelobster. I really like it. It's got a lot of built-in functions, which, make things not easier, but just faster and more efficient. So, yeah, if you have a Mac also, or you're using Linux, you can't use Codelobster. You'll have to find something else. Just Google, HTML text editor, CSS editor, whatever. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to open up Codelobster and we'll create a new file, an HTML and a CSS. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to start off by saving these. I'll create a new folder, save it to wherever you want, create a new folder. I'll call it tutorial website, and then just open it up, and I'll save this as my index.html, which is basically my home page. Anything that's called an index will be the first page that shows up when you go to that site. Alright, so just click save, and then for the CSS we're going to save this as new folder CSS for our CSS files, and we'll save it as style.css. Alright, so next what we have to do is we have to link the CSS file, or no, actually before we start doing that, what we're going to do is we're going to change the doc type. Alright, so this is very important. W3 schools. Can't remember what the doc type is. It's really long. Alright, so what the doc type is it tells you, or it tells the browser how this website should be displayed. It tells you what the browser, or what the web page is running. Alright, so what we're going to use for this series is we'll use XHTML 1.0 transitional. Basically, it might not mean anything to you, but to the browser it'll mean a lot. It'll tell, the browser what it's running and how to display it. Alright, so yeah, so next what we're going to do is, well, we'll change the title. The title is just what appears at the top. It's not important, but if you've never done this before, you might find that a little bit important. So we'll call it test site. Yeah, and we'll skip the meta and we'll just go right into adding the CSS. So we'll link href equals css slash style.css, because that's where our CSS file is located. We will link the style sheet, and we'll do type equals text slash CSS, and then we'll do media equals all. Alright, so this here will link our style sheet that we just made. Alright, so now we're ready to start making our website. Yeah, you'll notice if you just open this up in the browser right now, because it is an HTML file, you won't have anything. That's because we didn't add any content. But you know, that'll quickly change. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by adding a div tag, and we're going to give it an ID of, you know, something that is meaningful, such as container or wrapper. I'll call it wrap. Basically, the wrap tag, it's not necessary, but the reason that you usually do it is because it contains all the other div tags inside it. It's basically, you know, it just makes it easier to position the site for one, because you only have to position one div tag. You know, it just makes it easier to have a big container. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add another div tag, and we're going to give it an ID of header. Now what the ID does is it basically just tells the CSS where you want the style to go to. So if you wanted to go to the header, well, you need an ID for the header. We'll make another one called ID equals content, which is going to be our content section, and we'll just make another one called our footer, and then we'll just close it off. Alright, so what we just done is we just made 4 div tags. We made a wrapper, a header, a content, and a footer. And again, if we open this up in the browser right now, we won't see anything because we didn't add any style to it. But what we can do is we can add some style. So we're going to start off by linking to our wrap tag, and basically, if it's an ID, you want to use the #, the hashtag, and if it's a class, which we haven't learned yet, you'll use a period. Alright, so let's say we want it to be in the middle, so we'll do margin auto. We'll end that line with a semicolon, which indicates the end of that statement, and then we'll move on to, say, a border of 3 pixels solid black, and then we'll do a border radius, which is new, and it doesn't work in all browsers, but it does look pretty nice, of, say, 10 pixels. Alright, so now if we go to preview this in the browser, oh, I forgot to add height. We'll do a height of, say, 900 pixels, and we'll do a width of, say, 500 pixels. Alright, so now if we preview this in the browser, we will actually see our website. See, this here is our main div tag, this is our container tag, which is going to contain everything. So, yeah, that's going to be the end of the first video, but, you know, stay tuned, because the next video I'm going to show you how to finish off your div tags and how to add more, and how to really start making your website look like a website. So, thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for the next video.